Welcome back to our channel, friends. Today, we begin a truly amazing journey. A journey into the mind of one of the most brilliant inventors the world has ever known, Nikola Tesla. He was a man far ahead of his time, a dreamer, a scientist, and a true genius. In this six-part series, we'll explore his inspiring life story step by step. And remember, we're not just telling history. We're showing you how to learn, grow, and think like Tesla. So sit back, relax, and listen closely, because this story can change how you see your own dreams. Part 1. The Boy Who Saw Lightning. Nikola Tesla was born on a stormy night in 1856 in a small village called Smiljan, now part of modern-day Croatia. As lightning flashed outside the window, the midwife said, "This child will be a child of darkness." But his mother replied, "No, he will be a child of light." And she was right. From a very young age, Tesla was not like other children. He had a powerful imagination. He could visualize things in his mind so clearly that he didn't need to build them. He could already see how they worked. For example, when he was just a boy, he imagined building a water wheel powered by insects. Most people laughed. But for him, it wasn't just a joke. It was the beginning of learning how energy works. In today's world, imagine a child taking apart a smartphone just to understand how it works. That was Tesla with everything around him. A curious mind at home. Tesla's mother, though not a scientist, was very intelligent. She invented small tools and household devices. She encouraged Nikola's curiosity. His father was a priest and a writer who wanted Nikola to join the church. But Tesla was more interested in machines, nature, and electricity. Every night, Tesla would read books. He loved stories of invention and adventure. He didn't just read. He memorized entire books. Yes, his memory was so strong that he could remember entire pages word for word. Let's pause and think. Have you ever been so interested in something that you forget the world around you? That's how Tesla felt every day about learning. The power of imagination. As he grew up, Tesla started noticing that he had unusual abilities. He could see flashes of light and hear sounds others couldn't. He also had strange dreams and visions. Some people thought something was wrong with him. But later, he realized. Those visions were actually ideas for inventions. It's like when you're in the shower or walking alone, and suddenly a great idea pops into your mind. That's what Tesla experienced all the time. Except his ideas became real inventions that changed the world. A lesson for all of us. Tesla teaches us something powerful. Don't hide your imagination. Don't ignore your strange ideas. Sometimes the biggest inventions come from the quietest minds. In our world today, where everyone is rushing, Tesla reminds us to stop, observe, and imagine. So if you're a dreamer, if you've ever been told you're different, remember Nikola Tesla, the boy who saw lightning and imagined a better world. Part 2. The journey begins. A mind beyond limits. A curious student with a giant dream. After growing up in Smiljan, young Tesla moved to a town called Karlovac for high school. Here, something life-changing happened. One day, his teacher showed the class a model of a water-powered machine. As it started turning, the young Tesla's eyes sparkled. He asked hundreds of questions. He stayed after class. He studied every tiny part of that model. He didn't just want to learn how it worked. He wanted to improve it. Tesla once said, "My brain is only a receiver." In the universe, There is a core from which we obtain knowledge, strength, and inspiration. Even as a teenager, he didn't believe in limits. He believed the universe was full of energy, and he wanted to understand it. Think about your own school life. Have you ever seen something so interesting? A science experiment, a machine, a story, that you couldn't stop thinking about it? Tesla lived that feeling every single day. Illness and the power of the mind. But just when everything seemed to be going well, Tesla got very sick. He had cholera, a deadly disease at the time. He was so weak that he couldn't even walk. Doctors said he might not survive. His father, worried and afraid, visited him in the hospital. Tesla, lying in bed, looked at his father and said, "If you let me study engineering, I will get better." His father, who wanted him to become a priest, finally agreed. And guess what? Tesla started recovering. Day by day, he got better. Slowly but surely. This was not just medicine. This was the power of purpose. When you have a reason to live, when you have a dream that pulls you, your body, your energy, your spirit begins to heal. This is an important life lesson. When life breaks you, let your dreams rebuild you. The university years. A storm of ideas. Tesla then joined the Austrian Polytechnic in Graz to study engineering. At first, he was a brilliant student. He studied 18 hours a day, read hundreds of books, and never missed a class. His professors were amazed. But over time, he became so obsessed with his studies that it affected his health. He wanted to invent a new type of motor, one that worked without coal or brushes. Everyone told him it was impossible, but he wouldn't stop thinking. Day and night, he walked around imagining diagrams in the air with his fingers. While other students went to parties, Tesla went on long walks, talking to the stars, thinking about electricity, dreaming about energy from the sky. Can you imagine someone in your class who never took notes, never used a lab, but still topped every exam because he could visualize everything in his mind? That was Tesla. But sadly, after a few years, due to money problems and health issues, he dropped out of university. He felt like a failure. He didn't tell anyone, not even his family. Wandering without direction. Now began the darkest chapter in Tesla's young life. He moved from city to city, looking for work, sometimes sleeping in parks, sometimes hungry and often lonely. He worked in different jobs, some in engineering, others in boring office work. At one point, he even worked as a manual laborer, digging trenches just to survive. Imagine this. A man who once dreamed of giving free energy to the world was now using a shovel to dig holes for someone else's project. But did he stop dreaming? No. Every night, even after the hardest work, he would draw his inventions in the sand or on old papers. Because he knew, you can take away someone's money, their job, their home, but you can't take away their vision. The motor that changed everything. During this time, Tesla had one idea that would change history. The AC motor, alternating current. Everyone else was working on DC motors, direct current, which had many limitations. But Tesla believed AC current was the future, faster, more powerful, and could travel longer distances. He imagined a motor with no brushes, no sparks, no waste, just pure spinning energy. But he had no lab, no money, and no support. Still, he never gave up. He said, "I do not think you can name many great inventions that have been made by married men." This strange quote shows how focused he was. He gave everything to his work. And one day, while walking in a park and watching the sunset, the idea came. He picked up a stick, drew a diagram on the dirt, and shouted, "The solution is here." That moment, my friend, was the birth of the modern electric world. A powerful message before we end this part. Tesla's early journey teaches us a very real lesson. Your situation does not define your future. Your imagination does. He was not rich. He was not famous. He had no fancy lab, no big company, no supporters. But he had an idea. And he believed in it more than anything else in the world. So the next time you feel lost, tired, or stuck, remember Nikola Tesla digging trenches, whispering inventions to the stars, and sketching motors in the dirt. Your dream matters, even if no one sees it yet. Keep going. Part 3. A New World, a New War. The rise of a silent genius. In 1884, Nikola Tesla stepped off a ship in New York City. He had only 4 cents in his pocket, a few papers in his bag, and a head full of incredible ideas. The streets were loud, the people moved fast, and the buildings stretched high. It was completely different from the quiet villages and towns he had known. But he wasn't afraid. He had one goal in mind: to bring his inventions to life. First steps in America. Tesla's first big opportunity came when he got a chance to work for Thomas Edison, the most famous inventor in the world at that time. Edison had built the electric light bulb and was promoting DC direct current electricity. Tesla, however, believed in AC, alternating current, a better system that could carry power over long distances. When Tesla joined Edison's company, he worked day and night, fixing machines, designing new systems, and improving efficiency. He barely slept. He ate little. He was completely focused. One day, Tesla was told that if he could fix a major problem in Edison's machines, he would be rewarded with $50,000. Tesla fixed the problem, but when he asked for the reward, Edison laughed and said, "Tesla, you don't understand our American humor." Tesla didn't laugh. He was heartbroken. He quit the job the same day. This was a turning point. He realized something important. Not everyone who praises you will support your dreams. Beginning from zero. Again. After leaving Edison's company, Tesla was left with nothing, no money, no job, and no place to continue his work. For some time, he worked as a manual laborer, digging ditches to earn a living. It was humiliating for someone with a brilliant mind. But in silence, Tesla kept building something powerful: his vision. In 1887, Tesla finally found people who believed in him. He received funding to open his own laboratory in New York City. Here, he began building his AC motor, the very motor that others said was impossible. And when he demonstrated it, engineers were amazed. His design was not only possible, it was superior. It was cleaner, quieter, more efficient, and ideal for long-distance electricity. The man who once dug ditches was now standing at the edge of changing the entire world's energy system. The War of Currents. Now began a major battle in the history of science: the War of Currents. On one side was Thomas Edison, defending DC power. On the other was Nikola Tesla, promoting AC power, now backed by businessman George Westinghouse, who saw the future in Tesla's system. Edison started a public campaign to make people fear AC electricity. He claimed it was dangerous and even arranged for animals to be electrocuted in public using AC current, just to scare the public. Tesla, however, stayed calm. He didn't speak badly about others. Instead, he focused on demonstrations that showed how safe and efficient AC power truly was. At a public show, he even passed AC current through his body to light bulbs. and walked away unharmed. People began to understand. Tesla's system wasn't dangerous. It was the future. Eventually, Tesla and Westinghouse won the battle. AC electricity became the standard system used all over the world, even today. Lighting up the world. In 1893, at the World's Fair in Chicago, Tesla and Westinghouse were given the chance to power the entire event using AC electricity. It was the first time such a large event was powered this way. The fair was visited by millions. At night, thousands of electric bulbs lit up the buildings, shining bright like stars. People stood in silence and wonder. They had never seen anything like it. It was magical. It was the power of Tesla. After this, Tesla's AC system was used to build the first hydroelectric power plant at Niagara Falls. Another of his childhood dreams turned into reality. He had once imagined capturing the energy of nature, and now he had done it. The inventor of the impossible. Tesla was not just an engineer. He was an artist of invention. His laboratory was full of ideas no one else had ever thought of. He invented wireless communication before the radio, remote control, neon lights, electric oscillators, transformers, and devices that could transmit energy without wires. He even dreamed of a world where everyone could receive free energy through the air, without cables or power lines. Tesla didn't just want to become rich. He wanted to make life better for all humanity. While other inventors were thinking of business, he was thinking about a better future for the world. A lesson that shines bright. This chapter of Tesla's life shows us something powerful. You don't need revenge when people cheat you. Just rise so high they can't ignore you. Tesla was cheated. He was laughed at. He was called crazy. But he stayed quiet and kept working. He believed in himself. He believed in science. And because of that, the world today enjoys lights, power, and technology that started in his mind. So if someone doubts your idea, if someone says you're dreaming too big, smile and keep building. One day the world will see. Part 4. The man who touched the future, but was left behind. Tesla had won the war of currents. He had lit up the world with AC electricity. His inventions were being used in homes, factories, and cities. People were starting to see him as a genius, a man who could turn dreams into reality. But Tesla wasn't finished. In fact, his most ambitious ideas were still to come. Ideas so advanced, even people today are still trying to understand them. This part of the story is not just about science. It's about vision, betrayal, and loneliness. The dream of wireless energy. After the success at Niagara Falls, Tesla set his sights on something bigger, a world where no wires would be needed at all. He dreamed of a wireless system that could send electricity through the air, just like sound waves. He wanted to power the world, not just with machines, but with pure energy, available freely to everyone, no matter where they lived. In the early 1900s, Tesla began building a massive tower in Long Island, New York. It was called the Wardenclyffe Tower. This wasn't just for wireless communication like the radio. It was for something far more bold. Tesla wanted to create a global energy system to transmit power, sound, and images across oceans using the Earth's own natural frequencies. Imagine charging your phone from the air. Imagine turning on a light bulb in the middle of the desert, with no wires, no poles, no plugs. That was Tesla's vision. But there was a problem: money. The collapse of a dream. To build his tower, Tesla needed big investors. At first, he received funding from J.P. Morgan, one of the richest men in the world. But when Morgan realized that Tesla's invention could give people free energy, meaning no profit for big companies, he stopped funding. Morgan reportedly asked, "If anyone can draw power from the sky, where do we put the meter?" With no more money, Tesla's dream project was abandoned. The tower was never finished. Years later, it was destroyed and sold as scrap. Tesla was devastated. The world wasn't ready for his generosity. He didn't want to sell energy. He wanted to share it. And that didn't fit the business world. Secret experiments and strange powers. Even as people turned away, Tesla continued working in silence. He started focusing on mysterious experiments, things that no one else dared to study. He explored wireless power transmission, resonance energy, Earth's natural frequencies, death rays, a kind of energy weapon he never revealed fully, communication with other planets. Yes, Tesla even believed it might be possible to contact other life forms using high-frequency signals. He once claimed to receive strange signals from space during a radio experiment. Many people laughed. Newspapers began calling him crazy. But some scientists believed he was onto something far beyond human understanding. He said, "The present is theirs. The future, for which I really worked, is mine." He was right. Many of his ideas were too advanced for his time. But today, they are being studied again with modern technology. Fame fades away. As the years passed, other inventors rose to fame. Companies grew. The world moved fast. But Tesla, who once lit up entire cities, was now seen as a forgotten man. He didn't care about money. He didn't start companies. He didn't protect his patents properly. He just wanted to invent. But in a world that rewards profit more than purpose, Tesla began to fade from the spotlight. He started living in small hotel rooms, feeding pigeons and walking alone. He had no wife, no children, and very few friends. He was misunderstood, isolated, and often ridiculed. Yet inside, he remained a giant, the pigeon and the poet. In his final years, Tesla formed a strange but beautiful connection with a white pigeon. He said, "I loved that pigeon as a man loves a woman. As long as I had her, there was a purpose to my life." One day the pigeon flew into his room, weak, with shining eyes. Tesla believed it was her way of saying goodbye. When she died, he said he knew his life's work was done. This part of Tesla's story is sad, but it's also poetic. Even as the world turned its back on him, he never turned his back on beauty, on nature, or on hope. He died alone in 1943, in a hotel room, with a small "Do Not Disturb" sign on the door. He had no money, no family, no applause. But what he left behind changed the world. A legacy that lights up the future. Today, we use Tesla's ideas in Wi-Fi, remote control, wireless charging, radio, drones, electric vehicles, space communication. Elon Musk named his electric car company Tesla as a tribute to this man. Science museums are built in his honor. Statues of him stand in countries across the world. But more than all that, Tesla's legacy teaches us something deeper. You don't need to be loud to be powerful. You don't need to be rich to be remembered. You just need to believe in your vision. And never stop building it. Part 5. The Lost Notebooks. Secrets the World Never Understood. Nikola Tesla died alone in a hotel room in 1943, but that was not the end of his story. In fact, it was the beginning of something even more mysterious. something that left scientists, governments, and even secret agencies asking questions for years. What exactly had Tesla discovered? What ideas were hidden in his notebooks? Why did powerful people suddenly become interested in him after his death? This part of his life story is about mystery, suppressed inventions, and a legacy the world is still trying to understand. The notebooks they didn't want you to see. When Tesla passed away, hotel workers found a room full of papers, drawings, formulas, machines, and blueprints. Many of these documents were about things no one had ever seen before. Within hours, government agents rushed in and took everything. The agency involved was called the Office of Alien Property, a department created to handle foreign-owned assets during wartime. But Tesla was a U.S. citizen, not a foreign enemy. So why were they so quick to act? Reports say that the government was afraid Tesla's research could be too powerful if it fell into the wrong hands. Some even believed his ideas could lead to weapons more dangerous than anything in existence. The myth of the death ray. One of Tesla's most controversial projects was something he called a teleforce weapon, now commonly referred to as a death ray. This wasn't a gun or a bomb. It was a machine that could shoot high-energy particles through the air, powerful enough to destroy planes, tanks, and anything in its path, without sound or fire. Tesla said, "It is not an experiment. I have built, demonstrated, and used it. Only a little time will pass before I can give it to the world." But he never did. No one ever found a working version of this weapon. And his papers describing it were either missing or classified after his death. Did he destroy it on purpose? Was it ever real? Or did someone take the plans for secret use? No one knows for sure. UFOs, free energy, and hidden technologies. Tesla had written about things that were decades ahead of his time. Things we are only now beginning to understand. Harnessing the Earth's magnetic field for energy wireless transmission of power across oceans. Anti-gravity technology. Communication with other planets. Energy fields that could protect entire cities. Some modern researchers believe Tesla was working on zero-point energy, a type of free, unlimited power that exists naturally in space. If real, it could end the world's dependence on oil, coal, and nuclear energy. But if such power exists, why haven't we used it? Some say it's been suppressed, hidden by powerful groups who benefit from controlling energy. Others believe Tesla's ideas were simply too advanced and misunderstood by his generation. The FBI files. Years after his death, under public pressure, the U.S. government released a portion of Tesla's FBI files. In these files, it was revealed that Tesla's belongings were reviewed by a scientist from MIT, Dr. John G. Trump. Yes, the uncle of former U.S. President Donald Trump. Dr. Trump stated that Tesla's notes were speculative, philosophical, and did not include new sound workable principles. But many scientists today question that judgment. Why? Because soon after, governments and militaries around the world began developing technologies Tesla once imagined. High-frequency radar, wireless power transmission, directed energy weapons, drones and remote-controlled devices, earthquake machines. Coincidence? Or did Tesla really show the path? The genius the world ignored. Tesla never wanted war. He never wanted power. He wanted to create inventions that helped people live better lives. He said, "The scientists of today think deeply instead of clearly. One must be sane to think clearly, but one can think deeply and be quite insane." He believed true science should serve humanity, not profit or politics. That's why many of his inventions were never sold. He gave them away, shared them in lectures, and refused to patent some of them. And maybe that's why his work was taken, hidden, or lost. He never protected himself because he was too focused on helping the world. What we can learn from the mystery. Today, people still search for Tesla's missing inventions. Books have been written, documentaries made, engineers try to rebuild his machines from scattered notes. Some say his ideas live on in secret labs. Others believe the world was simply not ready. But whether or not those inventions are ever found, his spirit remains alive. Tesla teaches us, it's okay to think differently. It's okay to dream beyond what others call possible. And it's okay to be misunderstood, if your purpose is pure. Part 6. The legacy lives on. Be the spark. Nikola Tesla may have died alone, without fame or fortune. But today, his name shines brighter than ever. The world finally sees what he gave us. Electricity, wireless technology, remote control, renewable energy, and a dream of free power for all. We drive Tesla cars. We use Wi-Fi. We talk through wireless signals. We light up cities with his system. He didn't just predict the future. He built it. And he did it not for money, not for attention, but for humanity. Tesla's real power. Tesla's greatest invention was not a machine. It was his unshakable belief that ideas can change the world, even when nobody believed him, even when he had no money, even when the world laughed. He never stopped imagining. He never stopped building. He never stopped dreaming. That is his true legacy. And now it's our turn to carry it forward. Be the spark. If you have a dream, if you feel different, if you think big and the world calls you crazy, remember Tesla. Be bold, be brilliant, be kind. You don't need permission to change the world. Just one spark can light up the future. If this story touched your heart, inspired your mind, or lit a fire inside you, like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share it with someone who needs to hear this today. Let's keep Tesla's light alive and become the dreamers who shape tomorrow. Because the world needs more sparks like you. See you in the next story.